I'm getting ready to do rust treatment on my '84 Chevy short bed truck here, and today I wire wheeled the rest of the frame and the axles, and I'm going to do rust conversion using corroseal. I'll show you in a minute what the result looks like. On my projects I use a couple different solutions to deal with rust depending on what it is. Corroseal is a rust converter, and I really like using this for outside parts of a vehicle, for example an axle or a frame. The way that you apply it is you just get yourself one of those $20 air spray gun and you attach your compressor. You don't even need that much airflow for it to properly work. And you can go to town and the little nozzle allows you to get in all the nooks and crannies. So we're underneath a truck that has had this treatment about a year ago. You can see the difference here between the radiator support up top, which is original, and then the cross member here, which I treated with corroseal. And you can see, yeah, it is dirty and dusty, but it's not rusty at all. Here's the rear axle of the same truck that I treated about a year ago. Here's the rear end of the frame of the same truck. Same thing. Dusty and dirty, but not rusty. This is the rust encapsulator. It's an epoxy paint that cures within about 20 minutes. This is great when you don't want to wait for something to dry, set, or cure overnight. Imagine you're working on sheet metal. There is an inside and an outside. For example, on a cap corner. So you're taking the outside off and you're replacing the inside cap corner. Then you want to put some rust proofing on it before you deal with the outside. This will only take 20 minutes to cure before you can put the outside piece of sheet metal on there. 415 is really popular, and I like using this for inside of the car. For example, coat floor pans or anything like that before I install sound deadening, soundproofing, or carpet. And finally, Rustoleum. I like using that when something's already been treated for rust, and then you use that as a top coat. To show you an example for the Rustoleum, this here is a parking brake assembly from a '69 Chevelle. I derusted this in a bath of sodium citrate and water. It derusted it really, really well. I didn't have to wire wheel anything, and look at this. All the moving parts are actually moving as they should. Even the nuts and bolts are moving because the sodium citrate bath got in between the threads of the bolts and the nuts and removed the rust. But afterwards, I like using the Rustoleum, usually something like satin, for inside parts like this parking brake assembly. Don't forget to prime it. It will work if you just use their cheap primer, but you can use any primer you want.